just want to start this video off by saying I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief that Ed Sheeran was not found guilty in the plagiarism trial between him and the estate of Marvin Gaye. He did not steal from Let's Get It On for Thinking Out Loud. That did not happen. The jury said that he did not steal, so we are all in the clear for that. I think it's absolutely wrong that he had to miss his grandmother's funeral because of this ridiculously stupid case, but regardless of the fact, he won like we all hoped and we all wanted, so we're all good on that. Not only is this good for Ed Sheeran, but more importantly, this is important for younger artists and artists who aren't out on the scene, because now they don't have to write a song and be worried about putting it out because, well, does it sound like this other song? Because they are state, or people could come out and sue me if this sounds even a little bit similar. This does nothing but good things for the creativity of the music industry and songwriters in general. So the fact that we didn't have to deal with this ridiculous lawsuit going through before even getting into listening to Subtract, I just gotta say, breathing a sigh of relief, not just for Ed, but just for music and creativity in general. This case was ridiculous and stupid, and it's dumb that it even had to face a jury and a judge, but we're all good. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now let's listen to Subtract and cry our eyes out a little bit.
Baby, you look happier, you do.
What is going on, guys? My name is Austin. Welcome back to my channel. We are here now for the first reaction of myself listening to the final album in the Mathmatics series from the one and only Ed Sheeran. We are here reacting to Subtract. Like I said, so glad I don't have to deal and care and worry about the freaking lawsuit. I'm glad that that is over. Thank God that got over before the album came out, because that would have just been a whole different thing hanging over me listening to this album. But we're good there. I'm incredibly excited for this album. This closing out the Mathematics series. I know it wasn't exactly what he intended. I know Equals was always supposed to be the end, but things kind of changed around when the pandemic happened. And also, Subtract itself was an album that was 10 plus years in the making, that he then threw all of that out for this new version of Subtract, which features everything from the loss that he has experienced, whether it be from the lovely Jamal Edwards from SBTV, or his good friend Michael from Australia that he unfortunately lost, from the music industry guy, which is what Visiting Hours is about. And then if you've watched the Disney Plus documentary, The Sum of It All, the awful tumor that his wife Cherry had to go through when she was going into pregnancy. Thankfully, that is all okay. Like, it was cancer, it seemed like, but she's all good. They were able to get the tumor out, and we're good in that regard. Ed's been through a lot. And he's putting out this album that is his most personal, darkest, and just feels like it's going to be the most depressing album that he's ever released. But also for hardcore fans of Ed Sheeran, it's a big return to his original sound, his singer-songwriter sound. He originated on Plus. He's working with Aaron Dessner, who's famous with working with Taylor Swift for Evermore and Folklore. So that's going to be a huge excitement for a lot of fans as well, whether they are fans of Taylor or Ed Sheeran. I'm just excited for the music. I've been waiting for this album for so long. It just feels like crazy to me, because the first album that I listened to in its entirety that really got me in love with Ed Sheeran was Multiply. I then went back to Plus and listened to it in its entirety and fell in love with Ed Sheeran. Divide was when it all really was like, okay, this is my favorite artist of all time right now. So now that we've made it past Equals, which I loved, and now we've got Subtract, I'm just incredibly excited. Hi, Nina. Yes, my cat's named Nina. But anyways, I won't talk your head off about this enough. Are you serious? I'm incredibly excited. It literally just dropped, so let's do no more talking, and let's just go ahead and listen to the final Mathematics album from the one and only Ed Sheeran. This is my first reaction of Subtract. Alright, track number 1 is Boat. This was the second single off of this album. I've already heard it. I love Boat. Honestly, it's just a huge return to his old sound, which I love. But also just love the way that he plays with the melody and also plays with the timing, like the time signature in the song. I think is really interesting as well. I loved Eyes Closed. It's a lovely song. I can see why it hasn't been a massive explosive hit like all of his other previous singles, but I still love that song. We'll get to that in track 3, but this was my favorite single to come out of this album. But we're going to listen to it just a little bit before we get into the first song that I have not heard from this album, which is Saltwater. But here is Boat, if you haven't heard it.
Aiming for the embers, stayed out for the breeze. I need to feel the more that I love, the less that I feel. The times that I jumped never were real, but the waves won't break my boat. But the waves won't break my boat.
Such an emotional song. I will be covering this, by the way. That's coming, just to let you guys know. But I love this song. We're going to quickly move over now to track number 2, so let's get right into that. All right, track number 2 is Saltwater.
Still so far to go, and I can't feel my
I can hear the folklore sound.
rain soaks, waiting green, I'm moving forward to where God only knows.
This has such a plus vibe. I love this.
To run from all this pain, with one last breath that's in my lungs, scream it's all for love.
Oh, wow.
Scream it's all for love.
I scream it's all for love with one last breath.
Come and kiss me, salt water. Oh, finally I feel it. 3 or 4 degrees, I'm free.
Oh, I know I've heard him say that line before. 3 or 4 degrees, I'm finally free. Jesus.
The things I did or never said, just leave that well alone. Come and kiss me, salt water.
Woo!
Oh, finally I feel it.
That snare drum right there.
It was just a dream.
Sing it, baby. I love those little high notes right there in the background.
I'm standing on the edge, gazing into hell.
Gazing into hell?
Is it something else? Close my eyes and take one step. Say, well, here it goes. Say, well, here it goes.
Wow. Oh my God.
Come and kiss me, salt. Yeah, I feel it. 3 or 4 degrees, I'm free.
God, man.
Embrace the deep and leave everything.
That's so pretty. Man. Yeah, we're going there. We're going there with this album. My goodness. I've heard him talk about this song in interviews before, and just how that line in the chorus, you know, oh, finally, I feel it 3 or 4 degrees, I'm free in salt water. And it's just like, man, like the imagery of him just walking off a cliff into the cold English seaside, which he's talked about. And just, man, yeah, the emotional state he was in while writing this album. Because he said he churned this thing out really quickly after spending, like I said, 10 plus years crafting the perfect singer-songwriter album. And then within, like, I don't even remember how much he said. Like, I think it was like a couple weeks. And he'd already written so many songs with the Aaron Dessner tracks. And he just put it out. And now we got Subtract. But, man. So coming off of Boat, which was the more, like, you know, The Waves Won't Break Me, but this Saltwater track is more so just like, you know, I want the release. Just let me be able to just be okay. So that is a brutal track. But I really love the lyrics and the melody. The instrumentation is great. It's got such an old school vibe from Ed. This is lovely, super lovely. And yeah, we're already really getting into this. So let's move on to the next track. All right, track number 3, the lead single off of Subtract, Eyes Closed. This was a song that he wrote all the way back during like Divide era, and he kind of left it on the shelf. He did it with Max Martin and Shellback, and then all of a sudden, like after the passing of Jamal, the lyric "Dancing with my eyes closed, everywhere I look I still see you," that started to hit a lot more. I love this song personally. I love the melody. I love the way that he works this song. I know it's not a huge hit right now, but I do love this song. And it's a decent single, I will say. It's not my favorite single of Ed's, but I do really enjoy this song. And I still am going to play a little bit of this for you guys. So yeah, Eyes Closed. Let's go.
I know it's a bad idea, but how can I help myself? Inside for most this year, and I thought a few drinks, they might help. Every song reminds me you're gone. I feel the lump form in my throat, 'cause I'm here alone. Just dancing with my eyes closed. Everywhere I look, I still see you. Time is moving so slow, so I keep dancing with my eyes closed.
right, eyes closed. Love this song so much. Still means a lot to me. We're gonna move on now to the next track. All right, track number 4, Life Goes On. Ooh. This is so old school. I love the sound.
I got nothing to say. Everything hurts. Sweetest refrain. The waves came tumbling down.
Nice. I like this.
As you floating for you to tell me how.
Ooh.
How my life goes on with you gone. Big like a stone. If you leave me now.
Oh my God.
Oh, the storms will roll. Then life goes on.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, don't cry.
Hear your name. I think of love. So tell me how my life goes on if you leave me now. Life goes on.
Oh, I'm close. I'm so close to crying right now. Oh my God.
I'm so afraid. I need you now to tell me how. I suppose I'll sing like a song. Easy come, hard go. Then life goes on.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. That was so good. Oh, man. Like, the folkness of that song was so, like, Ed. Like, it felt so him. The lyrics, the melody, the chord progression, just everything felt good. There was also, like, kind of a bit of country almost in this song, it felt like to me. But, man, that among everything that Ed has talked about in this album is one of the things that I've related to the most, is that when you lose someone that you care about so much, like, you kind of just want everything to just stop. He mentioned before, like, how when Jamal passed away, he wanted everyone to just stop for, like, a while. Kind of like how the world stopped when the Queen died. And instead, you know, people went on with their lives, you know, the things did just, if he was looking around like, is this should be bothering people more, we all need to stop and just, like, take some time. Even, too, like, if you wanted to take this in a relationship side of way, like, life goes on with you gone. Like, if you spend your time building a life with somebody and then they're just out of your life and it has to continue without that person that you've spent so long building a life together, like, this can work as a way of, like, a song about missing someone who's passed or missing someone that you spent years building a life together that isn't there. This song works on both levels in that regard. And that was the same thing that why I liked Eyes Closed too, is that it works in that context, in the way that Ed wrote it, but then it also works in a context that you can relate to. That's why I was so especially excited with this album, because I'm like, yes, obviously Ed's deepest, darkest, down there shit is going to be, like, brought to the attention of people, and it's going to be for everyone to hear, but the way that he writes these songs too, it still feels like, you know, you can step in, like, to the story that he's telling, and it feels so personal, and it feels so, like close to you too. It's just like, oh man, this one especially right now, this is currently honestly the favorite. I really like this song. Life Goes On. Wow, yeah. All right, next song. All right, track number 5 is Dusty.
I heard you calling, now my eyes are open.
Huh.
The powder blue.
This has got a little bit more of an equal sound, I feel like.
Sunlight is framing our every moment. Flick a finger, start a discussion to pick a singer. This one you'll love it, I have to bring her. Drop the needle on Dusty. Frost on the leaves like a lake. The moment came out of nothing.
Alright.
All of the pressure washed away in the low tide. But we gotta wait till it close the bone dry. Drop the needle on Dusty.
I remember he mentioned this in the Zane Lau interview about how it was like he listens to vinyl with his kid, which is adorable.
We were lost within
So,
the stormy ocean.
this is really cute.
Take a breath and race for the waves with you.
Oh, wow, I like that.
Finger,
Take a breath and brace for the waves with you. I like that. I like that line.
drop the needle on Dusty.
I can't get the image of Dusty Rhodes out of my head. Only wrestling fans are gonna get this, but when you think on Dusty, I think Dusty Rhodes. Whoa! This is an interesting bridge.
Beautiful smile on your face. Yesterday was up, all of the pressure washed away in the low tide. We gotta wait till it close the bone dry. Needle on Dusty.
Come on.
Drop the needle on Dusty.
I like that little drum fill. Yeah. We actually got a song that's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more like, not as like dark and dour. And I mean, we've gotten a ton of that recently with the album. So Dusty's a little bit more kind of a palate cleanser. I feel like your track 5, you're getting close like to near the halfway point, and you get a little bit of a palate cleanser. Like I said when I was reacting to it, I know he talked about like he listened to vinyl with his kid, and she just kind of like lets her finger go by and like decides on what she wants to listen to. Which again, adorable. I love that, honestly. So yeah, I think for him to put a song like that in the album helps kind of give it a little bit of levity. It's not my favorite. I like it though. It does bring a vibe to the album that is needed. Like you can't have the entire thing just be like all the way down here. You gotta have a little bit of levity in an album like this. So I'm glad that he put a song like that in. And his songs that he does about his kid are cute. Whether it be Leave Your Life, whether it be Sandman, they're all cute. So I appreciate those types of songs. But we'll move on to the next track. Track number 6 is End of Youth. Going into this, I already kind of know what this song is about, where he's like, when you go through loss in your life, whether you lose your parents at a young age, whenever you feel like loss and grief is where your youth ends and is when you officially become an adult. He hadn't gone through any major loss like that before, like whether it be with his grandparents or anything like that. Like you kind of expect sort of stuff like that, 'cause like it's coming. But with Jamal and with Michael, both of those were like, that was when his youth ended, when he lost people that were that close, and it was like especially shocking to him too. So yeah, track 6, this is End of Youth.
I've been depressed since you left. Tried to fill the hole with wine. Stopped the drugs when she came.
Nice
to
rhythm
you when I
pattern.
see you, man. You can't talk me through the fall if we don't know if I can land. Tell the world how to process, but don't take the same advice. I remember what
Nice,
I said.
I like that
In the
line.
mornings
I like
filled
that
with fear.
line.
Can't get a handle on my grief when every memory turns to tears. It's been a long year, and we're not even halfway there. Is this the ending of our life when pain starts taking over? I can never just let it go.
I've heard this chorus and snippets in through the documentary. Man.
There's never closure. So far alive, but I can't help but feel low.
Come on.
We spend our youth with arms and hearts so wide open, and the dark gets in, and that's the end of you. All my ups led to falls that led to trying to end my life. Just a boy at the start. They lent on like a man. You were meant to be my friend and not to take all that you can. Yeah, when I'm down, I never see you. When I'm up, you all appear. It's been a long
Wow. When I'm down, you're always near. Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh. I hear that string in the background. I like that. It's like.
Everything's falling apart.
Ooh.
taking over. I can never just let it go. Everything's falling apart. When all is real, there's never closure.
I can hear I can hear it in his voice. Yeah, he's selling this.
The dark gets in, and that's the end of you.
Yeah. I mean that hits you exactly the way that it was written to. I mean that right there, just even just like the simple things like in the pre-chorus, so it's like it's a hell of a year. We're not even halfway through, because I mean he talked about how that February for him was just the shit. It was just the absolute worst. And yeah, I mean, I get it. You do feel like there's like kind of like when you go through a loss like that, there's a period of like, your life before that loss and after. Like you can't go back to the way you felt before you lost that person. And I heavily relate to that for sure. You can feel like just like absolute like grief in his voice. And you can feel it. That's top tier right there. I mean, that's really good, honestly. That's a really good song, but we'll quickly move over now to the next track. All right, track number 7, the halfway point of the album. It's Colourblind. Also, Ed, you spelled color wrong, you British piece of shit! Ooh.
Kaleidoscope love, yeah, that is you and me.
Oh, we got a love song.
Forever changing, we make life interesting. But I like the nights when we leave the canvas free. Our words are mixing up, pick what we need. When we get started, I keep falling deeper in dark blue, brighter than white.
Yeah, come on, dog.
Rainbow just paint the night colorblind.
Wow, maybe we'll just paint the night colorblind. Got that perfect slow dance feeling.
Everything in between. An orange, watch the shade change in the heat from yellow, purple, and green.
Why did I just get like Joseph and the Technicolor Rainbow in my head with the color usage?
Can we get started?
I just love that. Can we get started?
Deeper in dark blue, I can't see nothing except you in your eyes.
Rainbow's exploding, but I can't see nothing except you in your eyes. Man, love these lyrics.
The night colorblind. The night colorblind.
Woo! Honestly, a bit of a shorter song for that kind of tempo and stuff like that. It's only three and a half minutes with that kind of song, and you don't get like a final verse or a final pre-chorus. Yeah, that is the slow song. That is the slow dance song right there for the wedding. Let's just paint the night colorblind. Like that is pretty. That is very pretty. It's a sweet song, honestly. If you were gonna try to say the song was like kind of looking for that almost perfect vibe, this is the one that gives like perfect vibe, thinking out loud vibe, that kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a song that I really liked off of Divide. It reminds me a little bit of Hearts Don't Break Around Here. I loved Hearts Don't Break Around Me. I still do. I love Hearts Don't Break Around Here. So it gives me kind of vibes of that. And I do love Song Ed. He kills it every time. He does a really good job of it. And this works out really well. So next track. All right, track number 8 is Curtains.
Can you pull the curtains, let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place.
Wow.
It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace. Tomorrow's another day. Hide and seek. I am somewhere close away. Won't believe
This kind of like key is like very similar to Plus 2.
inside you say I always hold back, and I always will on sleep. Is it in your childhood? Something happening in your past? The sadness here.
A little bit singy rap. I like that he still has something like this.
Can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine.
Oh, I'm gonna use this song heavily if I'm in a bad space. Oh, I like this song kind of being like you step out of your dark space and you really move on to like kind of like opening the curtains. It's like, all right, let's try to improve things. Come on. I hear that guitar riff. Come on, I see it. What'd she say? Woo! Hey, 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 hey. Woo! Alright, that song. I love the mood that he described right there. You know, you're coming out of a really, really dark time where like you're really in a bad spot. It's already talked about depression a ton in this album. Talked about like even elements of almost self-harm in situations as well. And yeah, I mean, just being able to open those curtains and be like, we're getting out of it. We're out of it. Tears are like starting to dry, and you're starting to really just kind of see that point where it's like, all right, we're out of the valley at least. We can kind of move up towards a peak finally. And I love the way that the instrumentation is used, his lyrics. It was the closest thing that I think we'll probably get to a sing-song rap on this album. I'm glad that we at least got one of those because honestly, I didn't think we were going to get anything like that on this album. Nothing like Two Step, nothing like Eraser, nothing like that. Honestly, the closest thing I thought we were going to get was the F64, which honestly, again, if you haven't heard the F64, listen to that. It's amazing. They put the entire F64 in the Disney Plus documentary, so if you watch that, you'll be able to see it in its entirety. So that's special, and it's great, and more people need to see it. So, but I loved Curtains, honestly. I love the kind of shift in this song as well in compared to the rest of the album. It doesn't discredit all the stuff that he's already talked about, but it talks about, like, you know, just being able to step out of it for a moment, which I do really, really love. But we'll move on now to the next track. All right, track number 9, Borderline.
Sadness always finds an end. Woo. Sneaks its way past, infecting everything.
This has an Evermore and Folklore vibe.
This is one momentous sequel, don't you think? Right now, I feel I'm running from a life.
Come on! God! Alright, falsetto all the way. Jesus!
We are meant to mold and bend.
I love the little string usage.
And I wish for nothing when
Now we got harmonies on top of it too. Jesus. One foot in, one out. I'm stuck on the borderline. Borderline, the vocals alone are just outstanding on Borderline. His falsetto is on point, and just this song is just fucking, whew, man. I am stunned. I'm holding it together right now. I just got done seeing Guardians Volume 3 as well, like Guardians of the Galaxy, And holy crap, that movie's emotional too. I have no idea how I'm holding it together right now. I should just be in a fucking, like, puddle. An absolute puddle. We still got 5 more tracks, so I will absolutely probably get there. And I already have nearly done. Life Goes On nearly already fucking, I was already almost out there. So, yeah, 5 more tracks left on the main edition of the album. So, we'll move on and continue down the road. All right, track number 10 is Spark. And these piano tracks that are being made by
lost for a long time. In a rut, no escape sign. A band-aid over deeper cuts we try. We'll build a fire and torch our own light and hope the sparks survive.
Wow.
Use words as kin and hope the sparks survive.
Hope the sparks survive. Wow.
Yeah, we hope the sparks survive.
Great song of, like, long relationships and trying to pursue keeping that spark alive.
I wonder what we both through. All we ever do is argue. Use words as kindling, light up the night sky, and the memories take flight. Hope the sparks survive.
This is really good. This is really good. The imagery and the lyrics are outstanding with this, and I love what he's writing about, like really trying to keep relationships like feeling that same way.
Right now that don't matter at all.
Nah, nah.
Bring it back, bring it back. Hope the sparks survive. Hope the sparks survive. The sparks survive.
Yeah.
And we hope the sparks survive.
Like this outro a lot, man. That's a really, really great track about really just pushing through, the rough parts of marriage or a long relationship of, like, you're never going to fully be able to recapture the beginning moments of a relationship and the excitement that has, but, like, that spark can still be kept alive. And I love the use words as kindling, light up the night sky, let the memories take flight. I like all that type of stuff can really help keep relationships alive like that. And I know he's talked about, him and Sherry, they argue like every couple does. And he's talked about before, like, them having arguments, whether it be from number 6 collaborations with the song Best Part of Me, where he's like, why the fuck are you with me? And then when he did the song Collide, and he said you lost your wedding ring, but I didn't mind because I got a feeling we'll be fine, because it's like, it doesn't matter, because I know I'm with the right person. I know I'm building my life with the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and you can still fight for your relationship to survive, even if it feels like it's stagnating, because it's still salvageable. Great use of lyrics, great use of imagery. That's a really, really good song, honestly. But over to the next track. All right, track number 11, Vega.
Rain keeps beating on the rooftop, muddying the glass, but God, I love the sound of heaven. Get your blessings, it wasn't any other way. Don't leave it up to fate. Fighting the tide, but their waves, they will part. Light up the night we were made. One door closes, then one opens. Gotta keep the focus. If we'll believe, then she'll get better. The days are long, but they pass within an instant, babe. This war we've got to win.
This is definitely about Sherry and going through her tumor.
Keep it inside, don't let no one till we start. But it burns like hell to be Vega. Need respite, need time drive. She'll be fine, she'll be fine. Same problem.
Wow. Oh my God. Jesus. We got this. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
We are made to shine like stars, but that don't mean it don't burn like hell to be Vega.
I'm a stupid dumb American. I have to look up what Vega means. Oh, I see. Vega is a constellation. Well, Vega is the brightest star in the constellation Lyra, which is the name of his daughter. So, I get it now. I get it. Yeah, that definitely was a really deep and tough song, I'm sure, to write, especially just the she'll be fine, repeating that. I'm glad she is fine. I'm glad that everything ended up working out with Cherry. That one had like more of the more interesting chorus comparatively to the rest of them. I liked how it was, that one was purely acoustic for the most part going through that, especially in the verse. And I liked the little like tempo that he had going with it too. This was a solid song, I think, on the album. It's not gonna be top tier for me, I feel like, but it's still one that I think I'll go back to for sure. But we'll move on now to the next track. All right, track number 12 is Sycamore.
Sycamore in the summer, bearing leaves, swinging, pushing our daughter underneath.
Oh, that's cute.
Now in the waiting room, emotions running wild. Worried about my lover and I'm worried about our child. Part of me was always in denial. It's gonna take a little while. And our story, love in, love out.
In our story, love in, love out. I like that a lot. This was also, I'm sure, about the waiting room about the birth of Jupiter.
Take a little while.
Man. A little bit one of the simpler ones in terms of the hook.
Sycamore in the field, a lonely tree. What will become of you and me?
Wow, that's a great way of ending it too. Pretty dang short. It's only 2 minutes and 50 seconds, honestly. The lyrics about just, you know, waiting on the news about Cherry is terrifying, but saying in our story, love in, love out, we are glorious. Like, again, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get out of this. It's gonna be all right. You know, now they have two beautiful daughters, Lyra and Jupiter, and it's super sweet. And I'm glad to hear everything worked out. This one especially is one of the songs on there. It's like where it's so personal to Ed's story, like it's just him telling you about his life. And that's a lot of what this album is too. There's certain songs where you can like kind of slot your own story in and then it becomes even more personal. But this is still a really sweet song of his. And I like how he used the sycamore at the beginning to really kind of paint the scene of where their life was. And then how they're immediately, you know, now you're in the waiting room, worried about Cherry, worried about your up and coming daughter. And again, I'm very glad to hear everything worked out. But I like the song. I do. It kind of reminds me of a bit of Sandman vibes, but just more so of like, you know, very much connected to Ed and Ed's life in particular. But yeah, I thought it was a really nice song. So next track. All right, track number 13, the penultimate track, No Strings.
If we make it through this year, then nothing can break us.
I heard a little bit of this in the documentary outro.
Trouble leaves them reappear. No strings, you are who I love, and that won't change when we're falling apart. Growing pains. If we make it through this year,
Just growing pains.
we should celebrate it.
Hell yeah.
This is no strings, you are who I love, and that won't change, you are who I love, it's just growing pains.
The way he sings growing pains just
We did
hits.
not fight for love, just to let it be defeated. You are who I love, and that won't change when we're falling apart.
Facts.
This is
Facts.
no strings, you are who I love. It's just growing pains.
Damn. Damn, man. I love Ed and Cherry as a couple. It is Destroy Band. Y'all are gonna be good. Stay good, please. This is a beautiful song, honestly, and I love how it's like, you know, it's like it doesn't matter, you know. We go through these things, but like, you are the person I love. I don't care what we go through, and I don't care what problems we have, because it will all work itself out, and we'll still look at each other and be like, you are the person I love. I love music like that. I love like messages like that, because it just shows that, like, you know, that conquers, that it does. Let's get to the final track on the main album. All right, final track, track 14, The Hills of Aberfeldy. This, I know he said, was always going to end Subtract, so this is one that, in that 10 plus year album tweaking of the original version of Subtract that we were set to get, this was still on that, and this is kept on that, so I know that this is a song that he's been working on for quite some time. So yeah, Hills of Aberfeldy. I'm really excited to hear this song. I got a really strong inclination that it's going to be a really Irish folky sound.
Oh, the leaves are covered in snow.
Oh my God, let it be a cappella
And the
all the way.
water's frozen, warm me down to my bone.
Oh, I love that.
As you lay beside me, hold me close.
Oh my God.
Oh, the leaves are starting to fall. Be holding somebody else's close. When I'm home, I'll hold you like I'm supposed to.
Oh my God.
We could fall in love 'neath the hills of Aberfeldy.
Oh my God! The folk song.
Oh, the ground is slowly melting.
Oh my God.
Sun beats strong.
Holy
And I feel like
shit.
my feet may have wandered too long. And oh, I'll hold you like I'm supposed to. Yet I know I'm in love 'neath the hills of Aberfeldy.
Wow. God, I want to go to Ireland so fucking bad.
You will never find another heart that wants you more than mine.
Oh my God. Is that how you end it? That's how you end it. Holy shit. Oh my God. You'll never find a heart that loves you more than mine. Oh my God. I mean, like, with the title, I assumed that it was going to be very folky. I assumed that it was going to be a folk song. But oh my God. That was so good. Oh my God. Like, I remember when he used to do The Parting Glass, and he would do that song, like, purely acoustic or purely a cappella, and he would do it, like, just with no microphone either. It reminds me of Foy Vance stuff as well, too, and I love Foy, like, the way that he ended, like, The Wild Swan. I love that song, and the closing track on that, too. One of my favorite album closers that Ed has done, honestly. Like, loved on Plus, Give Me Love, leading into The Parting Glass. That still will be the top tier closer for me, I feel like. Supermarket Flowers, of course, is outstanding. A Fire Love, love that song too, like closer wise. I do Blow, also ridiculous closer, I will say too. Blow is a ridiculous closer. And then I did like Be Here Now. Be Here Now is still one of my top tracks off of Equals. But man, you killed me with the goddamn fucking closer of just folk, just absolute folk, in outstanding, just great. I honestly, you know what? So what I'm gonna do is that I know that there are 4 bonus tracks that are available right now on streaming. I know that is the case right now. But I also know I have 4 more bonus tracks that are coming when my deluxe vinyl gets in too. And I believe I'm also getting a special, like, like 9th bonus track on a flexi disc as well, and I kind of want to listen to those all on my own time. So I'm gonna keep Subtract because I know he wanted it to be like, you know, traditional vinyl where it's just one side then the other side. I'm gonna call this on the Subtract reaction right here. So this is where I'll call it right here. I'm sure I will probably either post in the comments or post an update of what I feel about the bonus tracks when I listen to them on my own time. But I want to call it right here, honestly. So we'll get into our final thoughts right now. Final thoughts on Subtract, closing out the Mathmatics series of albums of Ed's. Mr. Ed Sheeran, yeah, you keep finding ways to just fucking get in here. I honestly got so close to crying. I don't know how I'm holding it together, honestly. I cannot believe that I haven't, like, cried. I probably will listen to this in my own time and then just the tears will finally come out, because I swore I was going to be just a complete just it didn't happen. But I definitely felt it. I felt it just on the brim, especially Life Goes On, I think was definitely the closest I got to. And Hills of Aberfeldy, just what a fucking closer that is, dude. I can tell that's the one that he's worked on the longest, and that was meant to be on the original Subtract too, because the amount of time and passion he put into that closer too, you can tell. But final thoughts on this version of Subtract though, I love how open he is on this album. I love how just, you know, a man who has not shown a ton of emotion. I've said before, like up until the lead up to this album, I had seen Ed cry like 2 times. I haven't seen this man cry like that. He really keeps it bottled in and doesn't like let his emotions break in front of people that he doesn't know or just in front of the cameras or audiences and stuff like that. Ed definitely like has that keep calm and carry on mindset that the English culture has instilled on. And I just want to fucking give dude a hug, because I get it, dude. I get that this year has been fucking hell on you. And I completely understand where he's coming from with that regard. The music that came out of it too was super personal and super, a lot of stripped back stuff, which I love that we got stripped back stuff. I'm not that kind of Ed fan that's like, you know, you gotta only do stuff like Plus from now on. Like, no. Because I loved Curtains, and I love the vibe of that too. I love the use of strings, and I love that you can really feel Aaron Dessner's influence on this for sure with his production. You definitely do get that sound of Folklore and Evermore, which I love that vibe. I will say too, with those albums, it took a little while for a lot of the songs to sit with me because they were so stripped back in that regard, and that the lyrics are really what you fit in on too, and a lot of it is super personal, so you can't relate to everything because a lot of it is his story, is what he's going through right now. But with the songs that I can, from a first reaction, really relate to, they're outstanding. I'm kind of in the same position as I was with Equals when it first came out, because I love Equals, I really do. But when it first came out, there was a couple songs where I was like, absolutely, this is outstanding stuff. But some other ones where I was like, you know, it's going to take me some time. Like, I remember Collide took a while to grow on me. I remember Sandman took a little time to grow on me, too. And I think a lot of these will be growers, too. And I'm excited to listen, like I said, to the bonus tracks. I literally got the notification that my vinyl is shipped. I just needed to show up at my house. So, like I said, I'm going to be able to listen to all of the bonus tracks, not just the 4 that's on digital. So I want to be able to listen to all of those on my own time to kind of get an idea of like all the other songs that he had created in this time frame. And then also too, I know he's teased the idea of possibly releasing that original Subtract. I do want to hear what that is. Not even necessarily to compare, but just because you worked for 10 fucking years on that album, you might as well put it out if it's still worth of any quality that you'd feel the need to release it for. Honestly, I would just say, I mean, dude, you could release fucking just you sneezing on a track. I'd fucking buy it. Subtract, it definitely lived up to what I was expecting of it to be, and it's a really dark, personal, important album in Ed's discography. Having this close out the Mathmatics series, it definitely does feel like, you know, it would have felt like, and the way that Ed wanted it to end would have been with Equals, but I'm glad that it kind of ended this way. And I hope too, honestly, as much as like, you know, I'm a fan, I don't know Ed personally, I've never met him, he's never met me, he probably will never meet me or anything like that, but I do honestly hope that Ed is able to really come out of this year that he just had in 2022, where it was really rough on him. And I hope now, from this point onward, he can really start to just get out of that dark space. And know it's tough, and I hope that he's okay, honestly, because he's going to be doing a massive tour. I'm ecstatic for the Mathmatics tour when I see him at Ford Field. It's going to be amazing. I got fucked over by Ticketmaster. I didn't even get a chance to buy the Royal Oak show. I didn't even get a chance. They didn't give me a pre-sale code. I've gotten those verified fan signups. I've gotten a pre-sale code every single time. They didn't give me a pre-sale code. I'm so mad about that. I just, like, I want, like, if I tried to get a ticket and I failed, okay. Like, that happened to me with 21 Pilots. I wanted to go to the super small venue show in Chicago. I wasn't able to, but I still got to go to their United Center show, and I was content with that. But you didn't even let me try with Ed. I just need to go to that Royal Oak show too, because being able to go from that show to Ford Field would be outstanding. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of people who got in. Scalpers who are selling them at exorbitant prices. You can go fuck yourself. But yeah. So, anyways, I'm done rambling. I really am glad that I have Subtract now. It honestly, I listened to this so many times just to be able to just get in that vibe. And it's such a personal album, and I appreciate Ed to being able to put out something like this, because it's something that definitely fits in his discography really, really nicely, I will say. But that's going to do it for this video. I just want to let you guys know, yes, I will be having a cover of Boat coming out very soon, probably in the next couple days, honestly. I've been meaning to put that out sooner, but I lost my voice at some point, so I wasn't able to get that done, so... But that is coming out. I want you guys to know that that is still coming out. I have also done a reaction to Equals. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I've done a reaction to number 6 collaborations as well, if you want to see that as well. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, all that kind of stuff that everyone tells you. Appreciate y'all for being around here. Also, shout out to the support y'all have shown on the Miley Cyrus Jaded cover. I did not expect that cover to do as well as it did. It's already over 1,100 views, which is outstanding. I really do appreciate the support on that. It was a different cover, I know. I don't tend to do stuff on that. But yeah, I appreciate that, seriously. And also check out my Eyes Closed cover. That is still up. But yeah, I'll go ahead and edit this video before I have to go to work the next day. But yeah, I am very happy to have listened to this album. It's great. I love Subtract. I love Ed. It's outstanding. So nothing more else I got to say. So appreciate y'all for watching, and take care.